Good afternoon. Welcome into Drag Race Central. I'm your host, Randall Shue.
I'm your host, Landon Shue.
Landon, first show of 2024. Can you believe it? I said all those things and I didn't mess up.
Yeah. You didn't say morning, though.
No, I said good afternoon.
Hey, exactly.
This is awesome, man.
You're nailing it.
Man, I should do this for a living.
You know?
Great idea.
You ever thought about having your own show?
That's an idea.
You could have a radio show.
A radio
on
show.
the radio.
On the radio. Well, people listening.
Ooh.
Some people listening. A lot of people. You think?
Yeah.
We're going to be up to double digits here before long.
Hey, any day now. I can see it's at least 7-10.
Well, you know, we had a great Christmas and New Year's. Hope everybody else did. And one of the things I've noticed, you know, we were off Christmas and everything was good. And come New Year's, you think, hey, Dad, I don't like this being off.
This not working thing was just not for me.
You know, I don't know how long it was. I think it was 4 or 5 years didn't have a Saturday off. And then all of a sudden there's a couple, you know, we took a Christmas off and a Thanksgiving, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But 2 in a row, I'm not a big fan of that.
I mean, neither.
Of course, Christmas is going to come later next year, so we'll be on Christmas and New Year's.
This year.
This year? Yeah.
It's already past
Christmas
New Year's.
this year, New Year's next year.
Yeah.
Whatever anyway.
However it works.
We'll take. You want to take a day off?
No, I'm okay.
Okay. Anyway, it only took 40-something years for this to happen, and I enjoyed
for you to work Saturdays.
And I refused for years to work Saturday. I'm going to be off because that's where all my buddies we all went to the races.
Yeah.
Now I worked hard where I can work Saturday.
Hey, you know
that's just wrong. Somebody's
changed.
Wrong. Things have changed. That's right. Well, you know, in my life, I only work 1 hour a week, so it's hard to get stressed. You know, being January, the weather is
rainy,
crappy, awful, cold.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of racing going on this time of year.
There is not.
So what we try to do this time of year is we do some technical stuff.
We got some technical things.
Well, we got some pretty cool stuff today. Only one race that went on this past weekend that I know of is at Duh Pad. It's the world's largest illegal street race. Went on down in New Orleans. It's called Duh Pad. It took them 2 or 3 days to get this thing over with. There were so many people showed up. If you want to see what kind of crowd there was, you can go to Old Man's Garage or Street Racing Channel. They filmed it. There were hundreds and hundreds of cars. Usually when the police run them off, they run up to a truck stop. They're pretty close to where. Well, the truck stop was full. The median was full. The sides of the interstate or the highway was full. The police run them off from there, so they had to disband. And there looked to be a few thousand people. So this thing has just gotten a life of its own. So
it's a pretty good sized race.
Duh Pad. You know, the Street Outlaws had a deal down there.
Mm-hmm.
A race at Duh Pad.
Duh Pad.
Anyway.
DAE Pad.
I think that's the only race that was going on this past weekend. You know, there's some, matter of fact, today the Ice Bowl is going up Talladega. There's a dirt round track. You know, one year they had to cancel it because of ice.
Ridiculous.
I think it was 2 years ago. Anyway, couldn't have the Ice Bowl because of ice. Who'd have thunk it? Anyway, what we're going to talk about today is some specialty tools that every shop, you may not know you need them, but you really need them.
You do. Some of them more than others.
Yeah, and some of the stuff, you know, you mentioned, we were talking about this, you mentioned the funnel that the funnel has a radiator cap.
Mm-hmm.
That bolts, you put a radiator cap on, it has a hole in it, and this plastic funnel goes down in a hole. So you pour
your antifreeze.
Yeah, a lot of the cars are hard to get all the air bubbles out of the cooling system.
Yeah,
but you can put this thing on there and pour. There's got to be a half a gallon of coolant in the top of it.
Oh yeah.
Well, as the engine runs, it belches all the air out of it.
Mm-hmm. Replaced with water.
So you've got a huge thing of coolant in this funnel.
Mm-hmm.
The funnel will probably hold a gallon and a half. So as the engine runs, it finally gets all the air bubbles out of the cooling system, you run your hand in there and plug it up. Take this thing off, and you can pour it back in a coolant jug. Coolest tool you ever used, especially if you've got one overheating on you. You can't get all the air out of it.
Right.
But you can let it run until the steam starts coming out the funnel. Man, that thing's fun. It's bright yellow, very inexpensive. So
It's a tool worth buying even if you're tinkering.
Yep. That's one thing. Let me mark that off my list. Actually, I just remembered that wasn't even on my list. I know a lot of you guys have done dash work or building specialty cars. You race car, you break plastic tabs off, and some of this stuff, especially after it gets it's old. It's not old cars. It's classics. But anyway, classic. Yeah, I'm not old. I'm classic.
Okay.
Hottie got me a T-shirt that said that.
There you go.
Hey, she recognized it. But anyway, these things, the tabs break off, and we used to do the custom vans, and you had an ashtray section. You unscrewed it. It was all plastic. Pull off, and then you put the doghouse under it. The tabs would break off, and hey, these things would just flop around.
Right.
Well, a company called Duramix came out. It is a structural urethane. It's a two-part setup. You can it's got a little gun. You squeeze the product, and it turns. I remember this. Turns 32 times. Comes out at the end. It makes a structural urethane. You can in about 30 seconds you can start forming it. And what we'd always do is take wax paper, put it up in place, squeeze some in there, squirt some in there, and take the wax paper and close it up, kind of make it the shape you want.
Mm-hmm.
In a minute and 15 seconds, you pull the wax paper off and take a pocket knife and trim it to the shape you want. When 2 minutes has passed, you can sand it, paint it, drill it, and tap it. It'll hold 20 foot-pounds of torque. And it's plastic. Now, if you're putting door panels on an old car and you can't find those the clips that snapped in from the back and have thread, you can take a bolt or take a nut, spray WD-40 on it. Well, I take that back. You put a nut down and you spray WD-40 on your bolt. Put a Duramix around it and screw your bolt in, and put this thing in place. Unscrew it, and you've got something to screw to. Put
Right.
door panels on. This is the coolest thing. This is available from Napa. If you've got a part number, they've got a Duramix kit. Now you might need to get your pencil. 08571, and then there's got some the replacement cartridges. 4770. 4747 is the replacement cartridge. But it is a great piece. And the fact that you can drill and tap it and it'll hold 20 foot-pounds of torque for a dash, that is great.
Pretty sweet.
So that is something I've used it. Matter of fact, my buddy Rodney, who has passed away now, he called me and said, "Hey, my lid on my sailboat has got a broke edge on it, and in front of they call it the berth in a sailboat. It's got a top on it that's rubber sealed, but it's plexiglass. One that somebody stepped on and broke the edge off, and it was an old. The sailboat has several years on it. It's not available." He said, "Do you know anything?" I said, "You know what? I think this Duramix will fix it." So what we did, I took a small drill bit and drilled in each side of this plastic. It's kind of a plastic product. I drilled both sides of it, put some Duramix in there, and squeezed it together. Held it a few minutes, took a pocket knife and trimmed it. Perfectly fixed it. Rodney passed a few months ago, but it was still fine on his
Sailboat.
Yeah, it was just his. The repair was complete permanent. The only thing it will not do is a radiator plastic tank. Anything that's had antifreeze on it, it will not stick to.
Okay.
So great piece. Next thing, how about a block checker?
Block tester.
Now that sounds peculiar. What is it? You don't have a block, but what it is? Potential head gasket failure.
Right. Checking for carbon in the antifreeze.
That's right. or combustion gases.
Combustion gases, yeah.
All right, you got one overheating, and you just can't figure out why it's doing it. Nothing makes sense. Water pump's working, the radiator's fine. This block kit, a block checker, I believe what that actually is. It's got a thing that goes on top of the radiator cap. Pull the cap off, and this thing's a rubber plunger that sticks on top of the radiator cap.
Mm-hmm.
You pour this thing is got gradual lines. It's graduated, and you pour fluid up to this line. It's a blue fluid. You crank this thing up, and it's got a little bulb. After the thing runs a few minutes, you pump this bulb. If that blue fluid turns to yellow, you've got a head gasket or combustion gases getting in the cooling system. So anyway, that is another great tool. 75730 is the part number. I can't believe I'm this well prepared.
You still remember the part number, huh?
No, I went to see Mark up Napa, and he gave me the numbers.
Oh,
I would say I'm not smart, but I knew the block checker was a ball count product. Couldn't remember the part number. But anyway, so you can go by in Napa. They've got both of these products. We are live on Facebook. Landon,
Live.
tell them how to get to us.
101.1 Drag Race Central on Facebook. You can come join our live. We actually got a Chris Rogers out there in the comments.
Chris likes the way we look, I think is what it is.
That's what it is, totally.
This is scary.
I don't think that's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's good. You and I have been talking in the last hour and a half. Well, before we left the house, we start this deal about 2:00. But anyway,
All right.
doing a YouTube channel, because we have a YouTube channel. You have a YouTube channel,
We do have a YouTube channel. It's Drag Race Central.
and we have we got a lot of audio in there. And I think we're about to start doing some video,
Some video. Yeah.
putting some filming some stuff. He reminded me when we went up to get the GTO body up in Kentucky.
Yes.
I was filming. Oh, everything's wonderful,
You filmed the first half.
but I forgot. And we were up there, had it loaded on the way home. You said
We got to the climax of the events, and
I stopped.
yeah, we were both too excited for you to film.
Well, we had to go out in the middle of a field. And
'Cause
get
it was
this
actually
thing.
there. That's what I was glad
And the guy
about.
says, "Hey, there's a a hornet's nest. Don't mess with it." I was like, "Well, you're safe on me. I ain't gonna mess with it."
The thing was about the size of a beach ball.
Oh yeah, it was a nice one.
Yeah.
So and I actually looked on my phone to see if we had anything survived, but nothing of that survived. So anyway, we're working getting some equipment up and try to put some of the stuff
Some
that
of the
we do.
wackiness. Yeah.
And how about this? A lot of the YouTube videos, especially the performance stuff, they'll do performance and they'll dyno test it and they'll do all this stuff. Yeah, but put it in the car and see what it does. Our channel will be, we'll take all this imaginary stuff, we're going to bolt it on and actually see if there's performance gain.
You know what needs to come back out of the grave then?
Uh-oh, what's that?
The rooster booster.
Rooster to booster needs to come.
We're gonna find something. We'll have to put a small block in something.
Rooster booster. That is probably some explanation needs to come out of that. Should I start?
It got its name rooster tailing.
No. The manifold looked like a fighting rooster house. So there's a.
No, that's what it came from.
That's where that came from.
I was thinking of our boat stuff then.
No. We were working around the shop, and we ended up with two of the M90 superchargers off V6 Buicks.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I know those things are not large enough to supply a V8, even though Richard Holdner has put one is made over 600 horsepower on a 5.3 with that blower.
Right.
Well, I'm probably not that advanced. So I think if one of them is good, just think what two of them do.
That's it.
So I began to sketch and scheme and
This all came from the more is better.
make sense. So we had some aluminum, and Tim had bought our buddy Tim, he had bought a TIG welder. Well, TIGging is difficult. Now you learn to TIG on steel, and then once your skills get up, then you can add to more metals. So we used to have a Mr. Jackson who would come by and weld aluminum stuff for me. Just a real welder. We were dirt daubers. So we even got to the point. We called him and said, "Hey, how about coming out here and teach us how to TIG weld?" Well, sure enough, hey, he shows up. Well, he starts on a piece of aluminum because you always start and get a bead going. Boy, it looks good. Let me try that. Let me tell you, I piled aluminum in the floor, just something terrible. But anyway, that's a whole nother deal. So I got to figure out a way to put these two superchargers on a small block Chevrolet.
Yeah.
So had a just old small block there, regular intake. I ended up with I went and bought some sheet metal and had it sheared the sizes I wanted.
Yeah.
So I made a plate that bolted to the intake, and then made some angle pieces. 45 degrees. It went up and touched in the middle. Cut holes in them for the discharge of the supercharger. So there's two of these superchargers on an intake, and there's different year models. There was a short one and a long one. So both of the belts.
Snouts.
Matter of fact, I looked at and the supercharger, the pulley for the bottom is still in the basement. It's got two serpentine belt deals on it.
Yeah.
So then you got to figure out a way to feed both of them. So I made a box that hooked both of the superchargers, weird angles, and put a Dominator flange on top of it. We still got that part. Now the Rooster Booster deal is up at Keith Lively's house.
However nice people think this thing looks,
It wasn't.
it was not. This was a proof of concept. It is purest form.
Wasn't a whole lot of proof involved, but it
the question
did
was
crank and it did run.
the question was, could you do it? The answer is yes.
Was it successful? It's like that little bitty room we had that was successful stuff, and that huge room of stuff that didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
So the Rooster Booster, and this has been several years ago. I got thinking, really the only mistake we made was we got through not to take it to a mill and make it flat, because the vacuum leaks it was the problem we had, because it worked. So I hear your music in your background. We're gonna talk. I'm glad you brought the Rooster Booster back up.
Hey, I'm just saying it'd be something to see on video.
Nobody's seen one.
They are out there now.
Like we've done.
Yeah, but nothing we've done.
All right, we're going to go out and take our first break of the day. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back into Drag Race Central. Landon, we were talking about the Rooster Booster. Now, let me tell you where my thinking came. And I promise I did put some thought in this thing. Okay. On a V6 Buick with a supercharger, it would make about 6 pounds of boost. In my world, I'm thinking, well, if I got two of them,
it makes 12.
It makes 6 pounds on a 231 inch. And two of those things on a 350 inch, I figured 8 or 9 pounds with the same ratio.
Yeah.
So spinning the blower a little bit faster, hey, you just zinging out of the frame. I mean, these things were $15 a piece. It's not like we tearing anything up. So that was my thinking.
Sure.
We never actually drove it, but it did crank and run.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should have used thicker gaskets. Maybe that's what it was.
Thicker gaskets. That was the plan.
Well,
it didn't need it milled flat. Just needed it flat. It just needed thicker gasket.
Can you use half-inch thick gaskets?
RTV. Use about a 2 beside.
Well, hey, Flex Seal.
Flex Seal.
There you
Just
go.
spray it on there.
Or they got rolls of Flex Seal now.
Yeah.
Roll that baby out. Well, that's one of the things that came out of my imagination. Another thing, had this bicycle and a tore up weed eater.
It ran. It worked.
I hooked the weed eater. I took a wheel
A
off
scooter wheel. Yeah.
Yeah, and put on this thing and made it and drove the wheel with the weed eater motor. This thing will run about 25, and it wouldn't take off. You start pedaling, as long as you was moving. This thing, we were in 25 mile an hour down the road.
Zing you up, yeah.
That thing's still out behind the storage building. I don't think it'll run anymore.
I don't either. I believe the past 15 years of sitting in the
in
wet
the woods.
and
It probably
woods.
was. But I didn't have the heart to throw it away. It just looks so cool. So these are kind of things we need on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Like, who else would have done this?
it's fair. We had some other stuff that we can't share because we don't know where to sell it to.
We actually have two products.
Yeah,
that-
we got products.
But if
One's a big business that we just don't know how to sell.
that's it, and proof of concept, it worked.
Yeah,
Like, we had these ideas, and hey, wait a minute, this thing works, but then we were kind of at a stalemate of what to do. Anyway, we
hey,
made
the noise stopped.
What's that?
I know. He came back. That vibrating noise. It stopped there for a second.
Oh no, okay, we had a odd noise in here.
I think it's whatever's behind that wall.
Could be me.
Is your leg vibrating?
That's a good idea. I got Bluetooth on my
Yeah.
on my magic leg. Let's get back to some of these magic tools that everybody has got to
needs.
have.
Well, now one you bought me over Christmas,
That's the next one. Oh yeah,
serpentine belt tool.
neat piece.
You don't need it until you need it.
And when you need it, it's a must.
It's the best thing.
It is a ratchet on a 18 and 24 inch, 18 inch.
Yeah,
You
but
wouldn't want
24
to break head bolts loose with it. It's not about
No.
that.
No.
But it's got different sockets that go in the head and is ratcheting. Yours does ratchet, don't it?
I believe so.
Okay. Anyway, you can reach that thing down and take a serpentine belt off with it. Sometimes that is all you can use.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that is a great tool. Next thing that you mentioned, and I hadn't seen mine in a while because you got it, is the brake caliper.
Brake caliper tool.
The caliper tool in the back. Front you
You
put
throw rocks at C clamps.
Yep. When you put front brakes on, you just force the puck back in the caliper, and the back doesn't work that way because the emergency brake set up on the back. The pucks have to be twisted in.
Clocked in. Yes.
One of them is counterclockwise and one of them's clockwise,
Yep, per side.
and you got to figure out which one. But without that tool, it is a bugger bear. Can be done.
I did it with the Mercury. That's the first one I ran across that had to be clocked.
It can be done, even though it's not that much fun. But with the tool, it's a non-event.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have that. One of the next things you talked about is a timing light, because everybody, you still need timing lights, even electronics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta know if you're setting the right angles,
All right,
right degrees.
now let me tell you something. One thing you don't do with your timing light is let some towhead borrow it.
Use it as a hammer.
No, he's going to lay the inductive pickup on the header, and it melts it.
Mhm.
And then when he brings it back, he says, "I didn't do that." Huh? Well, it wasn't done when it left here. Oh yeah, it was. So I had one done like that, and the same guy come up a while back. "How to borrow your timing lights?" And I'll come set the timing for you, but you can't use mine. He says, "Well, I know how to do it." And I said, "Yeah, but you can't use it because you ruined the last one, and you're not going to ruin this one." Oh, okay. So you go buy you one. As a matter of fact, the one I've got a really expensive one in a case, and matter of fact, I lost that thing, Landon. I knew I had one. I know you didn't have it, but I lost it. I was moving some stuff around. I found the case. I've got a brand new one that's 15 years old. So anyway, I knew I had that, and I wouldn't buy a good one. Or I wouldn't buy an expensive one. Let me say this. Up at Napa, they had one for $28. I love that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once I got it, matter of fact, it's in a Suburban. I haven't gotten the good one out since. It works as good as any of them. When MSD ignition first came out, your good timing lights wouldn't work. You had to use a Craftsman. It's the only one that would set the timing with MSD. Now that was weird.
Weird.
Because remember, MSD, multiple spark discharge.
Yes.
It fires 4 times every time ignition, up to 3,000 RPM. Then it becomes capacitive discharge. It fires 1. I think it goes to 2, and it goes to 1. But it was freaking out the timing light because that thing arced 4 times at once. So the Craftsman at the time was the only one that would work. Now all of them will work. But that was when the MSD first come out. It was tough.
Oh yeah.
But a timing light, you got to have it, and the dial on them. Those things will get you in trouble. You dial that thing so many degrees, and you didn't do it right. You'll have that distributor a quarter round out, and you'll tear some parts up. Let all the magic smoke out of your motor. You need 30 something degrees, from 30 to 38 degrees, whatever. Yeah. You'll have 65 degrees. Nah, that ain't gonna work. That means it starts the ignition process 65 degrees before top dead center. Well, that thing's already making a whole bunch of pressure before the piston gets to the top. It tries to push the piston back down the hole. That bends rods.
Ooh.
Slows you down too. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central. Welcome back in. And Landon, I don't know that mine will do 185.
Hey, you mentioned something when we were getting out of the car today. I want you to tell everybody.
What?
To admit that what you drive around now, your pawpaw car.
Oh, that was not very nice. Okay. One, the first trophy I won, this had to be in 82-ish. Yeah, about 81, 82, something like that. I was the fastest streetcar at Laster Mountain Dragway.
Okay. So
I had everybody covered. And then Gary Dawkins drove in his big block Corvette. I'm not the fastest. I had everybody covered by 3 or 4 tenths. He shows up. This means this ain't gonna be pretty for me. Well, it come down to him, and I spanked him. It was royal. The last time I outrun him, by the way. Anyway,
that was the last.
So let me tell you this.
Have we got a Corvette now that I think it'll handle the cheese?
Oh yeah, you're right. But this thing was a 350, 11-to-1 compression, double hump heads, but had accessory holes. All right, 750 carburetor, Muncie 4-speed, 456 gears. I was the cheese.
You were the guy.
No, let me tell you how fast this thing.
Did you have a Vega converter?
No, it's a straight shift.
Oh,
This is a 4-speed Muncie.
That's how you went fast back then. That's right.
Well, yeah, this is before I got into automatics. But anyway, how about this? My world record streetcar, and I had it 878 at 78 miles an hour. I was the fastest streetcar. I think it was a Sunday afternoon. Oh, it was epic. I think I won $9, and it was $9 or $15, and the trophy. The $9 is gone, but I still got the trophy. It was probably the $3. I don't care. I still got it. So, that being said, we pulled in the parking lot out here. I said, Landon, this thing we're driving is faster than my fastest or first hot rod. He said, I wouldn't have told nobody.
No, hang on. No, what that really means is you always hear about people would say, "Oh, back in the day, those cars were fast."
Yeah, not really.
No, they were not.
We got the little Maserati. Let me tell you, this thing a hoon.
Yeah.
It does pretty good. Hey, it's 400 horse. It runs about like a Corvette. But it's kind of a cool car. But anyway, that's kind of funny that it's faster than my race car.
The double hump heads and all.
Hey, let me tell you, I had a TRW TP 151 camshaft, LF 2453 pistons. I'm talking. This is race car.
Yeah, this was serious.
It's so. I remember the part number. Ooh, how about that? All right, let's talk about Skunk Works. I bet he don't have any TRW camshafts down at Skunk Works.
Hey, he might.
Might.
If you need one, he's your man.
I guess so. TP 151.
He'd get you one.
That was the hydraulic. They had a solid lift also. They made me nervous because you had to adjust the valves.
Oh.
I didn't have to do nothing to mine. Put some gas in it. But anyway, go down and see Skunk Works. I talked to Steve a couple of days ago, and he said they begin to do some chassis work. He said, I really hate to do chassis work. It's real time consuming. He's got the programs and where he can digitally make all the. I think it's a bin pack is what he called it, and it makes. You go 12 inches and bend it 12 degrees, and you go 13 inches and it bends 9 degrees, and he said then you notch it and it fits. 'cause he's got that going. But he says, buying a set of scales and scaling your car out and setting it up. A set of scales, $1,500. He said, you can come to my place for $100, put it on a set of scales, and get it adjusted out, and you're out $100. So what? But the $1,500, and then after you buy your scales, that's fine and dandy. Except you don't need them anymore. How often do you use a set of scales? I'd like to have some, but I don't know if I want $1,500 worth.
Yeah.
But anyway, you go down. They do all kind of computer tuning. I've sent several people to him. Computer tuning, chassis tuning, some chassis building, and he'll do chassis setups. So that is pretty neat.
It's a tough job.
How about this? Area code 205-796-5571. That's 796-5571 down in the Woodstock area.
All right, man.
So I told him, you and I are going to go down and visit him. You catch a day off during the week. We're going to go down and hang out with him. Maybe learn something. We'll take some hamburgers with us. That's the barbecues.
Barbecues, yeah.
That's right. We'll take some down there, and he'll love us then. How about that?
It teaches us his ways.
Speaking of, getting back to our tool list of stuff that you got to have, one of the YouTube videos that I watch, and we're going to be those guys shortly, that one you got to watch to see what's next. Mm-hmm. Lawrence L.T. Tolman from out in Utah. I believe he's Utah, Colorado. He's out there somewhere. He used to be on trucks on National Network. He quit and went back home. But he's doing a 8100 or 8.1 in a S10, making him in his own Cyclone. He's got all-wheel drive transfer case in it. Anyway, he's kind of curious how much the motor weighs.
That's cheating. Hang on. That's cheating.
It is.
All-wheel drive's cheating.
It could be.
That's why they're always banned, isn't it?
Well, it's four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. Anyway, so he was wondering how much this stuff weighed, and he had on his channel, he says, look at this. On Amazon, he had a crane scale. I got looking, oh my gosh, I got to find one. So I found one, $81, I think. I have a crane scale. It has a hook, goes to my chair picker, and then you pick something up, and this thing will weigh up to 2,200 pounds. For $80, you got to have one.
Yeah. I want to pick up your car.
Hey, the Corvette weighs 2,120.
There we go.
Pick up the whole car. There's not a place to hook to it to pick the whole thing up, though. And I'm not getting under it, by the way. You can. I'm not getting under it. That's going to leave a mark.
I don't trust the chain.
I don't trust myself. I may have messed up. But anyway, well, you're laying under it and you got an $81 scale holding up, yeah. And you trust it.
No.
Oh, I guess you're right. That's something else you won't need very often. Now, he picked up his a aluminum-headed 8100, weighed 540 pounds. A cast iron one of his employees got a cast iron one, still got the cast iron heads, 616 for a cast iron. Cast iron heads on big block about 75 pounds apiece. So that number just about worked out.
Yeah.
But 540 pounds for a motor, that ain't bad at all.
No.
But that's just kind of some stuff that, especially for $80, you need one of those at the house.
Absolutely.
But one thing that you will use in your shop many, many times, and when you need one, you've got to have it, and there's nothing else will do, is a hydraulic press.
Absolutely. I told you before that everybody who doesn't have one wants a friend who has one, so they can go use it.
You got to go find a buddy, and just the press won't do it. You must have a bearing separator to go with it. That's a must, and you need some steel plates and bars and stuff to block this thing up.
Hydraulic press is one of those things where if you need friends, you buy a hydraulic press, trailer, and
pick up. You move everybody.
No. Hydraulic press.
Lift.
A trailer and a lift. Any of those three things, you'll have more friends than you've ever wanted.
I guess you're right.
Now you can't call them because they won't answer, but hey, they're your friends. Ooh.
All right. Next thing that you must have, a multimeter. A digital volt ohm meter. Mm-hmm. It's something. When I was in the GM electronics school, they taught you lots and lots of stuff over there, and some of it we used. Most of it we just own the information. But one thing they did teach us is the correct use of a digital voltometer.
Mm-hmm.
That thing has saved my rear so many times. You said you broke yours. I'd given you one.
No, it died on me.
It died?
Yeah.
You know they got a battery in them.
No. I mean,
it really died.
It won't read 12 volts. It'll read. It says like 36 volts on a
Okay.
12-volt battery. I'm just like, I don't think that's right.
Huh. Yeah.
Or it reads that a wire that can carry up to like 24 volts is carrying 117.
Yeah, it's
I'm just like, yeah,
the
this
mass
thing's-
off a little bit. That, and there's one tool that is just so simple, but you need one. Is a test light. Test light is something you can check so many things with a test light. If you,
My first test light that I got when I was 12
uh-huh.
still works.
Yeah, good piece, and a bulb will go out and replace a bulb, And one thing I decided not to do, you go on one of the tool trucks, them things are $50 or $60. I get a $12 one. All I need to do is, all I need is a light to come on.
Mm-hmm.
There's something else for looking for shorts. Now, finding a short, that's when power is going to ground, and you're blowing fuses. A simple way to tell, you start putting fuses in and checking it. That's expensive. Dang fuse, $1 a piece. You got you a sack full of them. You've killed a profit on the job.
Right.
Take a sealed beam headlight. The old, just out of an old car, it's an old sealed beam headlight. Put some leads on it.
Yep.
Put one in one side and one in the other. If you've got a ground, your light will come on. Will not burn the car up. Will not blow a fuse.
That's how you make it. That's how you make a test light.
But that is actually a circuit tester.
Mm-hmm.
That's even better. So you keep pulling fuse and moving stuff until the light goes out, and you know where your ground
Yeah,
is.
you know what circuit it is.
That is it took me a long time. Now that's 40 years of trying to figure it out. I've seen guys couldn't find it. It was dome light circuit kept blowing. Boy said, "Come here and watch for smoke." He took a gym clip and took a hammer and flattened it and put it. First thing he did is reached up and stuck in the fuse block. That thing turned cherry red. It burned his fingers real bad. He had a gym clip in his fingers. Well, next thing he did is he put a pair of pliers, stuck it in there, looked for smoke. It burnt across the headliner. It made 2 stripes across the headliner. We found the ground, but that's kind of expensive ways to do it. But a seal beam will work and won't hurt anything at all. So you can try that.
Oh well, apparently the sound quit working on the
Oh yeah,
live.
Facebook Live.
I don't know how to fix it.
You don't?
Not a clue.
May have to reboot it. How about that? That's an idea. All right.
Chris, I'm trying, buddy. I don't know what to do here.
Now something that is big. Battery powered power tools. Now we've run air tools for years and years and years. And you had to have a huge compressor and all that kind of stuff. But electric tools with the battery you can plug in, the coolest thing.
Okay, we're back apparently.
Okay, there we go.
Good.
We've got a caller coming in, but our producer has stepped out. So whoever's calling you, just hang in. We'll be back in there in just a moment. Tell us about somebody who brought us here.
Ray's Drive Shafts.
Yep.
Ray's our man. If you need a drive shaft made, he's the guy. We stand by those products because we got a lot of them.
Hey, we sit beside them too.
Yeah. We right over them. Okay. However you want to handle the drive shaft, we got them. Give me a call down at 256-572-7485.
All your racing. Hey, not just racing. I've seen freight truck stuff down there. You tractor brake stuff.
Side by sides.
No, he said he refuses to work on that stuff.
Okay, no side by sides.
He said that junk. No, that was not very nice. But all your performance needs, he can take care of all that stuff. And you got big horsepower. Now here's a rule: make sure you tell him what you're doing. I talked to somebody the other day. I can't remember who it was. They said they're swapping to 1350 joints, that joint is about a 1/4 inch larger than a regular joint.
Mm-hmm.
And the Pro Mods, they've gone to a 1450. That's almost the size of a freight truck joint. You don't break
Sweet.
them. Dang joint weigh 1.5 pounds though. They're going. Oh, I know who it was. It's Elbert.
Elbert. Okay.
Elbert Tucker said he was going to go to a 14. Him and Randy will go to a big joint, and Elbert said he wanted him a carbon fiber drive shaft. So I think they're $1,200. I'm not going to do it. Ray takes care of all of our needs, and that's where I'm going to do. But if you just want to swap drive shafts, upgrade, he can take care of that for you.
All right.
How about a phone number out there
256-572-7485.
for all your needs? How
That's
about
right.
that? So anyway, let's get battery powered electric tools. I've got a.
It's becoming more commonplace.
It is. And one suggestion: if you decide you want DeWalt tools, fine and dandy. Nothing wrong. Buy all DeWalt tools.
Yes.
No, we bought Craftsman.
Yes.
Not that they're better, but whatever you buy, I always buy the same thing. That way your batteries will interchange.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, I don't know what, we've got lots of that stuff. Air ratchet, here you go. A 3/8 electric, I can't even quit saying electric ratchet.
Mm-hmm.
Got this screw gun looking thing, and I still haven't decided what I'm supposed to do with it. This is this driver thing.
The impact driver?
No, it's just this driver. This is like, I guess you could put a screwdriver tip in it.
It's called an impact driver.
Okay, a 3/8 and a 1/2 impact sawzall. What else? Is that it? Yes, that's the neatest tools. An air blower. You got my weed eater.
Yep, I got your weed eater.
That's right. Let's go out to a caller.
All right.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
Hey,
What y'all doing?
how we having fun?
You look like you're having fun. I see you on Facebook.
That's kind of scary, ain't it?
Woo! Dang, y'all
Ha-
got a face for radio.
Hey, it is what it is, bud.
That's why we're here.
Hey, I want you to know it's just hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way.
Yeah. Well, you're pulling it off, I guess.
What's going on with you?
Y'all talking about them specialty tools. I seen something yesterday I didn't know was available, and I got to have one.
All right.
It's a little deal. You didn't even get them at Harbor Freight, but you hold it down take your radiator cap off, hold it down in your radiator, hook your airline to it, and you open the valve, and it suctions out the whole system.
Uh-huh.
And it pulls a suction on it, and then you stop it, and if it loses its suction, you got a leak.
Yep.
You got another line goes into your antifreeze, and you open up that valve, and it fills it. So in other words, you sucking all the air out and then filling it back with antifreeze, and I've been trying to figure out how to do that for a long time.
All right. Now, what we had to do, you had to jack the car up. I mean, it would look funny. Kind of jack it up all cattywampus and to get the air bubbles out. But this will, you're pulling a vacuum just like an AC unit.
Yeah. It's like $70. It's real simple to use. Man, I gotta have one. The Amazon has them. A lot of different places has them, but I gotta add that to my repertoire right there.
Yeah, but the specialty tools is something you don't use them very often, but when you need one, boy, they'll take care of you.
I got a toolbox that ain't nothing but specialty tools. That's all it is.
How about here's your one, the water pump tool for a North Star.
Oh yeah.
Now you can take an old water pump out of a North Star without specialty tools. But I can assure you, you will not install one without that tool. Now, I tried it.
Right.
It ain't going in there. But the tool, hey, it's a 15-minute job.
I got a little Craftsman screwdriver the old man fixed me. He took his little small flathead, and right at the end, he bent it, made a little lip on it.
Uh-huh.
And I said, what's that for? He said, next time you fool them spiral locks, you take this out and use it.
Uh-huh.
He said, you'll know what to do with it. Man, I wouldn't take $1 million for that little screwdriver.
Sometimes it takes somebody who's done it before to make a tool. That's just work. Putting a transmission in a race car in the basement, it's kind of aggravating. Get it on the jack or the under the car is a problem because the car's not up high enough.
That's right.
I got looking. I thought, you know what? I know how to do this. The car was up on jack stands. I took the cherry picker and picked the front of the car up and rolled the transmission on the jack under it and let the car back down. Well, There wasn't nothing to that. So now I don't worry about putting the transmission in the car at the house.
There you go.
All right, but hey, we got music
go.
in the background. We appreciate you calling.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate what y'all do.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, we're going to go out and
Thank
take a
you.
break. We'll be right back on Drag Race Central.
Welcome back in. The segment's going to be brought to you by VP Racing Fuel. Have several locations for you to go out there and get your flavor of fuel. Give him a call in at 256. No, and you don't have a phone number. He got too many phone numbers. He got too many locations.
That's right. He got locations instead of phone numbers.
That's right. Hey, NDS Auto, DG Motorsports, Gardendale Performance, Off-Road Connections, Coleman Discount Muffler.
There's some tracks,
there's some
but hey, the
tracks
tracks are closed right
right
now. It's,
You make a lot of phone calls. Go out and see something. Get a pamphlet.
get two of them. Ladies, buy your honey 2 pails.
Late Christmas present.
Well, that's in case you did something stupid. Two pails of fuel will do away with it.
Yeah.
We
Problem
don't-
gone.
My buddy, my boss TJ, he come out in the shop. Attaboy, we'd done something. He got him out of a bind. Attaboy. He was giving. We worked hard, and so we was in a meeting one day, and he's chopping us out. I said, now TJ, I got to ask you something. How many attaboys do I have to collect up to do away with them old crap? I can't believe you did that. How many? If there's
you gotta
5 of them,
trade 'em
could I say,
in.
oh, here's a 5. He said, boy, I can't do that. I said, well, you need to know these things.
You got,
This is
what's
this
the
is important.
ratio? Yeah.
5 to 1. I'm all right with that.
Yeah. How much did you get back even?
Attaboy. So attaboys, we tried to count up them attaboys.
In pocket then.
So this last week on Christmas Eve, is a bunch of racers got together out at a restaurant there in Fultondale. I think there's 35 or 40 of us. That was a lot of fun. We got around, and that's got to be an annual deal on Christmas Eve, lunchish, and getting together and just have a lot of fun. That was fun getting to see the guys we hadn't seen in a long time and swapping stories. And one guy brings his photo album of all the gassers from the 60s. I guess they don't make race cars since the 60s, but that's all right. He had some cool old cars. And my question was, I wonder where all them cars are now. Could you find them? One big thing that I've seen.
What if somebody went around and called it Junkyard Life?
It could be.
Pretty sure that's what they specialize in.
Yeah, I know it. But that's all these cars for all these years. They went somewhere. There was up in Huntsville area. There was a green Chevelle stolen in a trailer. The trailer was stolen. Had this green 71 Chevelle in, good-looking car. They got the car back. Still hadn't found the trailer. They offered a big reward on it. Somebody said, "I don't know where your car is." So they found the car. I think it was completely intact, but they still hadn't found the trailer. So guys, protect your stuff. Air tags, all these kind of stuff. Put on your vehicles. Make it hard for somebody to steal something. Now, if a thief wants it, I can assure you it's
They'll
leaving.
get it, yeah.
But make it take a long time. So that's about the only thing. You have to move 3 cars to get what they want out. That's okay. Hide it, and air tag it. Air tag is kind of cool because you can go right to it and know who got it. So, and that air tag is a brand of ID.
Yeah.
There's several different ones.
It's the same idea.
Yeah, I have some that are magnetic. Looks like a hockey puck. Oh, that's kind of cute. And something else, another neat deal, is a ring camera.
Yeah. I got one at my house.
Well, I had some tires delivered for the car. The delivery guy put them out the truck and left them out at the end of the driveway. From the driveway to the house, almost 500 feet.
Yeah.
Well, Gina got to the house, Miss Hottie. She got to the house, took a picture of 2 tires out in the middle of the driveway. And that's a good 100 feet from the road, but still.
That's out there?
I said, that's kind of weird. I said, could you roll them up close to the house? So anyways, we got them, and I actually got them put on this Thursday, I guess.
Okay. At least you're not riding on wire.
Hey, I didn't know. The tires look good. I think I was at Wally World. Pulled in. I walked up and looked, and I could see air in the left inner tire. maybe not air, but it was almost to the air. So I had to order me a couple of tires and had them things put on. I was going to do it myself. We've got capability of putting tires on. That's not a problem. But balancing, I've got a bubble balancer, and I would hope we're a little past the bubble balancers now. But having a tire machine at home is not bad because it's over to it's Tim's. It's over to Record Shop. But
Yeah. It's at the house. It's not your house.
it's somebody. Oh, it's at his garage.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have capability of doing that. But a balancer is a whole different animal.
Now, what about a pond update?
I got some dirt in. I know some water in it.
Okay.
You know, I haven't mentioned this, but there was an incident out at Bass Pro Shop in
Yeah.
Leeds. A guy decided to go skinny dipping in the water thing. What's that thing called?
The aquarium?
The aquarium. The aquarium out there is probably 50,000 gallons. Homie was butt naked in the aquarium.
So we got to get your pond nice enough where somebody wants to strip down naked and go for a dip.
Well, we're gonna do. We want some interviews before that happens.
Some interviews.
That's just wrong.
I'd love to see a post game interview from the guy.
No. I want. We're gonna interview that.
Yeah, I want to see a post game interview from the guy. That'd be great.
Well, he swam around in there a little bit and decided it's time to get out. He came over the glass.
Mm-hmm.
When he hit the floor, I think he busted his head.
Yeah.
The Leeds police escorted him out by the feet, drug him out in the parking lot. Bad day.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, you mentioned the pond update. We hadn't had any water out there in a while. I had this thing will probably hold, I'm guessing 100,000 gallons. Now, whatever the number is, I was down to about 400 gallons. I want a Shoney's Big Boy to put out on my island. I need to find one.
Somebody with a Shoney's Big Boy, let it know.
Or a Sinclair dinosaur, either one.
Sinclair dinosaur.
All right, guys, we appreciate it. We enjoyed being here today. It's so good to be back. Just remember, the older I get, the faster I'm going to be. We'll see y'all next week on Drag Race Central.